So iOS 18 has just been released, and it is full of new customization and amazing features for your iPhone. So no matter what country you're in, you can install iOS 18 right now. And the good news is that all iOS 17 supported iPhones are compatible with iOS 18. So that means the iPhone XR through the iPhone 16 Pro Max, all those iPhones will be getting iOS 18 and most of their new features. So let's quickly talk about Apple Intelligence, because the whole theme of the iPhone 16 lineup is Apple Intelligence. And we'll be expecting the update for Apple Intelligence probably around the end of October of 2024 maybe, with iOS 18.1. Right now, as I'm currently filming this video, we are on iOS 18.0.1. So when we're on iOS 18.1, there's no 0 in there. That will be the update for the first Apple Intelligence in beta that will be free for the public. So what is Apple Intelligence? Well, Apple Intelligence is Apple's own AI where you can summarize emails and make them sound more professional, and you can also do that with text messages. You'll have a smarter Siri, because Siri's been dumb for way too long now, and Siri will be much smarter and help you get more things done. And also some amazing features coming in December of 2024 are Image Playground. You can create your own emojis and stuff like that using Apple Intelligence, and Genmoji. So what Genmoji is, you can basically say like, make a shrimp with a cowboy hat. Like just like creative ideas like that. And also coming in December 2024, Apple has partnered with ChatGPT to integrate ChatGPT with the new Siri, and that will be coming for free in December of 2024. Apple Intelligence will be free when it comes out, so you do not have to pay for Apple Intelligence. But Apple Intelligence is limited to the more higher end iPhone models. So that means if you have an iPhone 15 Pro through an iPhone 16 Pro Max, you are compatible with Apple Intelligence. So iPhone 15 Pro through the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And why is it only available on the higher end iPhone models? Well, the iPhone 15 Plus and below do not have a fast enough chip, and they do not have enough RAM to process any of those on-device Apple Intelligence features. So if you want Apple Intelligence, you will have to upgrade to more of the higher end and the latest iPhones. So again, that is for the iPhone 15 Pro through the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm really excited for Apple Intelligence to come out. And one more thing I need to mention, Apple Intelligence will be coming out for the iPad and for the Mac. So if you have an M1 iPad or Mac, you are also compatible with Apple Intelligence for iPad and Mac, which my iPhone will not be getting Apple Intelligence, but my Mac and iPad will. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So let's first start off with the lock screen. So not too much has changed with the lock screen this year, but there's one big change. So these controls down here, we haven't been able to customize these for almost 6 years, but we finally are able to customize these. And I can just completely remove it, so there's nothing there. I completely remove both of these, so there's no controls on there at all. When I click this plus, I have all of these controls. I have vision accessibility, wallets, utilities, connectivity. I have all of these. Now let's look at the awesome iOS 18 home screen. So as you can see, most of my apps are dark because some of these apps haven't adapted to the dark mode UI, like Google Classroom, Wiz. Those apps really stand out since they haven't adapted to the dark mode UI. But, having all dark mode apps right on my first page on my home screen looks really good. So how can you do this? Just hold down the home screen somewhere, click edit, and then you have add widget, customize, and edit pages. We're going to go to customize first. Again, we have light widgets, dark, automatic, so when it's light outside, it'll set your widgets to light. If it's dark outside, it'll set your widgets to dark. And then we have tinted, so I can tint it to the color, and then at my whole home screen, it will be this tinted color. So now let's go into customize again, and I can change this right here. I can select this.
Let's say if I want this nice light blue up here matching my wallpaper, boom, I got it. Let's say I want sort of this blue right here. Now I got it. So I can adapt my apps to match my wallpaper. So that is a really nice customization. I can adjust the slider here, I can make them large and dark. And then I have large. So I can finally place apps anywhere too. Let's say if I want to take this app, come over here, I can put it right here. Let's say if I want to bring this widget, I can put it over here. I don't want to go in that far. I can put it over here. I can put it basically anywhere I want. I can bring it right here. I can put it in this little bubble here. I can put it right in the corner there, and then it'll match it. And I can resize widgets too. So I can have a big reminders widget and a huge reminders widget just by resizing this thing right here in the corner. So just like that, I can resize it, and that looks really good. So I can finally, after God knows how many years, I can finally put apps anywhere I want to match my wallpaper or whatever I have here. So that looks really cool. So now let's look at the control center. Here's my awesome and improved iOS 18 control center. So I have all my normal stuff here, I have my music here, and then I have a whole bunch of other controls. This is a lot of controls. I have them all right here in one. I can just click that and select which one I want. So you can really customize your control center to like the best of your abilities. Let's say I want to start a new one. I tap that little plus in the corner, and then I can add control. Let's say I want to put stopwatch. I can resize it. Or if I want a big stopwatch, I want to go really big. Add a control. Let's say I want to do text size. Can't make that any big. Let's say I want to do screen mirroring. I can bring that over here. I can put them anywhere. They don't have to be in a row. I can put them like that. So again, click the plus. Click the plus. And then I can resize this. Can do it like that. So I can resize it. I have a whole bunch of customizability here. Before, the only way you could power off your iPhone is by holding the volume button and the power button just like that. But now we have this power button at the top. So when I click that, hold it down, and then it brings me to slide to power off And also the flashlight UI has changed. So when I go into that, if you have dynamic island, it'll make this nice thing up here. I can click that. I have the beautiful flashlight here. I can change how bright I want it or how dark I want it. You can also change the width too. For some reason, it doesn't let me do it on here. If you want to change the width, I think this is maybe for 15 Pro or Pro Maxes and up. So you just do that. You can just like pinch and you can change the width of the flashlight. But I don't think it lets me do it on this iPhone 15 right here. So I just tap on it if I want to turn it off. And then it just fades into the dynamic island. So that is a really clean new UI. And then for my connectivity, I have all my connectivity displayed over here, which is really nice. There is a new awesome privacy feature in iOS 18. Let's say you give your friend your iPhone, you don't want them going through all your apps. Just hold down the app that you don't want them to get into. Require Face ID, authenticate Face ID, and then every time I go into the ChatGPT app, it will ask me for Face or Touch ID. And then if I want to get rid of it for an app, just hold it down. Don't require Face ID. It'll scan my face. And then boom, I am successfully into the app. So you can also hide and lock apps too. So hide and require Face ID. So where do the apps go when you hide them and require Face ID? So you're going to come to the end of your home screen, swipe right, and then you have your app library right here. So scroll on to the bottom of that. You're going to see your hidden apps folder, authenticate Face ID or Touch ID, and then all of your hidden apps will be in this folder. And it should always be at the bottom of your app library. You cannot move these around. Can you? No, you can't move these around. So yeah. Now let's talk about the new calculator app in iOS 18. We have we have an improved calculator app in iOS 18. So we finally have a back button, because before you have to swipe like that to get rid of it. You have to swipe. Now we actually have a back button. And now we have some note modes here. We also have Math Notes too. So Math Notes is also available on iPad. We finally have a actual calculator app on iPad, and we have Math Notes. So if you have an iPad with an Apple Pencil, Math Notes are awesome with that. So I would, if you have an iPad with an Apple Pencil, I would definitely recommend trying out Math Notes. So let's give it a problem. So we have our stuff up right here. Let's do, I don't know, 73 divided by 21. And once I write this equal sign, it will give me the problem. So this also works for graphs. So maybe if you have a graph problem that you can't do, you can put like graphs and stuff in here for Math Notes. I don't know why the 2's crooked too. There's some new amazing features in iOS 18 with iMessage. So let's first start off by going into the plus. Then we can do send later. And then let's do that. Let's set it for 10 o'clock a.m. So you can send up in iOS 18, you can schedule messages to send up to 2 weeks in advance in iOS 18. 2 weeks in advance. Birthday. And then let's do exclamation point, a little present in there. And then I can click this. And then it will send at Sunday, September 29th at 10 o'clock a.m. So I can click edit there. If I don't want to send it, I can click edit. I can send the message right now. I can edit the time, or I can just delete the message. So that'll be gone. And then we have check-in too, which is a feature available on iOS 17. It just sends someone your location and stuff like that to make sure where you are. So let's click the A in here. So go back to here, let's click the A, and then we have all these effects in here. So we have big, small, shake, nod, bloom, ripple, jitter. So, and we have all these texts up here. We can do bold. Let's do bold and in italics. And then, for example, let's do explode. So let's say here, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, let's do exclamation point. And then we have, let's do this, explode. And then we can do explode. So when I send that, it'll explode. So we have all these new amazing effects here. Another amazing feature in iOS 18, if you go into messages and then in settings, and then you scroll into text messaging, you will see RCS messaging here. It hasn't enabled for me yet. But RCS messaging, I think, is available in the US. I think Canada, too, also. Some parts of Europe. Your carrier has to allow this. My carrier, T-Mobile, hasn't allowed this yet. So, yeah, but it'll be under text messaging, RCS messaging. So what RCS messaging is that if you're texting someone with an iPhone or an iPad through an Android device before photos and text and all that kind of stuff, I mean like photos and videos, they were lower quality. So now with iOS 18, those features will be good quality. So there are some new amazing features with iOS 18 in Safari. So first off, do you see this little icon over here? Once I click that, I will see hide distracting items. So when I click on that, I can get rid of this ad, this annoying ad down here. Boom, Thanos snap, it is gone. There's another ad right here. Boom, it's gone. So let's say I want to get rid of this right here, and then boom, that is gone. So actually stuff from the physical article I can remove. That's gone. There's another ad up here. Let's get rid of that. And then I can click done. So then I have got rid of most of that stuff. If I want to revert it, I can just click show hidden items and it will revert back. So here's the thing with this hide distracting items feature. Remember when I removed this ad down here in this ad? The ads will reappear, I think, around after a minute or two after you get rid of them, because they will refresh with a new ad, because this is not an ad blocker. Lots of people who are making videos on this are showing it off as being an ad blocker. It is not an ad blocker. It's just to remove ads temporarily, okay? But, you know, that's stuff that I removed from the article. Like, let's say I want to remove this. That won't be coming back until I actually want it to come back. Like this right here, that as part of this website, that won't be coming back unless I want it to. So I'm going to click done. So let's say I'm reading this here. So if I click this right here, I can have Siri read it to me. I can show the reader. So I can show the reader right here, okay? And then that means it removes everything here. So like this thing at the bottom, this bar, once I keep scrolling, it will remove it so I can see more on the screen, okay? And then I can also have Siri read it to me. So let's do this. Listen to page.
AirPods 4 versus AirPods Pro. Apple wireless earbuds. Compare. Benjamin Mayo. So, Apple just updated its base model AirPods for the first time in years. There's now 2 new models.
Okay. So I can pause it, and then I can also change the color of it. So let's say I want black for nighttime, I want gray, I want a nice smooth color, and then I can do that too, okay? So I can make the text bigger. So a new amazing feature in iOS 18 is hikes and custom routes. So hikes, you can hike through any trail. Well, not any trail, but most trails you can hike through them, and Apple will give you directions to help you maybe get out of a trail that you're lost in or something like that on Apple Maps. So that'll be a nice feature for maybe people who like to walk in the trails and maybe, for example, they get lost or something like that. So we also have custom routes. So maybe there's a specific way you get to work or school or some kind of location or something like that. And Apple's way is just not working out for you. You don't like it. Now in iOS 18, you do not have to go Apple's way. Let's say you want to hike from your house or like a hotel or something. You want to go through this trail right here. The trail's usually these dotted lines with the green, and then you can go through them like that. So that is a really nice feature. Build any kind of walk, from nature hikes to city strolls. Create custom routes whenever you request walking directions. So here's some of the new Apple TV features too as well. And then over here, oh yeah, this is also another good one. So now in iOS 18, when your iPhone is dead, you can still find it. It says iPhone is findable, and you also have the time over here. So when your iPhone is dead, you can see the time. Or let's say, for example, you lose your iPhone somewhere and you can't find it, and you remember that's on iOS 18 and it's dead. So if that ever happens to you, you can still find it using the Find My app with someone's iPhone. So this is a new feature on iOS 18. This was here on iOS 16. So on iOS 18, we have using a satellite to send and receive text messages. So to test the satellite connection, make sure you're outside. Your cellular connection will be temporarily turned off during the demo. Okay, so this was introduced on iOS 18. Using satellite to send and receive text messages. When you use, let's say, the cell towers are out, during, for example, that crazy Hurricane Milton that hit Florida, lots of cell towers were out and people could not contact their families. If you have an iPhone 14 through an iPhone 16 Pro Max, you can use both of these features right here. So you have to have an iPhone 14 and later to use this feature. So if you have an iPhone 14 later, or maybe you're trapped in Hurricane Milton, you need to contact your family members, you can use this feature right here to text anyone in your contacts without a cell tower. You have to be connected to a satellite at all times. So these are just great features, like during a hurricane or in any situation when you need medical help when there's no cell signal nearby. And then this is SOS via satellite, which was introduced on iOS 16, so 2 years ago. No one really uses this feature a lot, but now people are using it a lot more since a lot of hurricanes have been hitting Florida lately. And then keep pointing at satellite to send and receive emergency SOS, and then preparing demo of emergency messages. So you can call, you can text emergency services using this feature.